Hello and welcome to the section, Customize Your Serverless Application. Now that we have some code and some Azure functions out there, it's time to start making them just what we want them to be. Now, in this section, we're going to manage application settings. I'm going to show you how to switch between the consumption and the app service plans. I'm going to configure domain settings and configure authentication. Welcome to the video, Switching Between Consumption and App Service Plans. In this video, view the consumption plan model that we're using in our Azure Functions app. Then I'm going to describe the app service plan model and demonstrate how to switch from consumption to app service plan. Here inside the portal, I've added the app service plans. This is just by selecting all services and looking for application service plans, app services, and app service plans. I just put a star next to it so that shows up over in the favorites. Easy to get to. Now we see our app services, which includes our 3 Azure Function apps and app service plans. The Central US plan was the app that we created with the first Azure function and then added to it with the second and third function. I've created another application service plan, and you can do that here from the app service plans by selecting Add and going through the dialog to choose a subscription, a resource group, and a pricing tier that will set the service plan, the reliability, the resiliency, and all of those types of things. Also, the price that you pay for your app service plan. Now, for my service plan, I've chosen a basic application service plan, and I don't have any apps installed into that service plan right now. Here are my Azure functions, and I would like to switch from a consumption plan to the application service plan. Unfortunately, if you click into Overview and go into the app service plan or pricing tier, there's no option here for changing which service plan you're using. Thankfully, we can use PowerShell, and I'll show you how that works. Now I've connected the PowerShell Azure RM modules. Just giving myself a little bit of extra space here. The Get Azure RM web app will list the web applications in a specific resource group. I'm only concerned about the name, just to list. There are the function apps. We can also use the Get Azure RM app service plan to see which plans are available for us. Notice the kind specifies what typical web app or if it is a consumption or function app. And we can switch between them by using the Set Azure RM web app commandlet. We need to specify the resource group name of the web app, the name of the web app, and the name of the app service plan that we'll be switching it to. With the output, we can switch back over to the portal, and inside the Central US plan, we see now that we have only 2 apps listed, and in the basic app service plan, we show 1 app. The app service plans does take just a minute to refresh, and we see that our app has switched from the consumption plan to the basic plan. Be warned that this is a little more complicated when you want to switch from the basic app service plan to a consumption plan. The best way to handle that is go ahead and create a new Azure function. If you have created your Azure function with a basic web app service plan and you want to switch it to a consumption, the best thing would be to create a new Azure function with a consumption plan. And once that new consumption plan is created, you'll have something to switch it to. The reason for that is that there are some additional settings, such as the storage account that's going to go along with that consumption plan, and you'll want to specify that during the creation of your Azure function. However, as you can see, once we are back to the Central US plan, we've got all of our apps listed there. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to configure your application settings for your Azure Functions app.